Welcome back to Godfall 101 Youngbloods. Again, thank you to everyone that has left suggestions and feedback. It means a lot. So, first things first. Last video I made a mistake saying they were showing in-game footage and not in-engine footage. My bad. I'll for sure make mistakes again in the future, so any help from all of you will be most appreciated. And I'm okay to admitting to when I make a mistake. We all make mistakes. We're all human. No big deal. Fess up, move on, learn from it. Boom. There you go. So I posted the last video over on Reddit, and the community manager, Thanatos Noah, went over there and commented on the video. Thanks for the comment. And also gave us a little bit more information. So he went over there to Reddit, gave us the current names of the other two Valorplates that we have seen. So the current names of the Valorplates that we have are the following. So we have the Silvermane, which is the Lion Valorplate that we have. We have the Phoenix that we talked about last time. And now we have Greyhawk. And now these names are subject to change. There's a lot of localization. I'm sure that'll change a lot of these things. Whether you spell gray with an E, whether you spell gray with an A. All that stuff is subject to change. But right now we've got the Silvermane, we've got the Phoenix, and we have the Greyhawk. Okay, so now let's go back to January 20th of this year. So a Reddit user whose account has been deleted. But that account was deleted after they posted a video with the title saying combat footage. A fraction of the footage from an unreleased trailer I have. And then they showed off the trailer that we've seen. It's about 7 seconds, and here it is now. Then the following day, on the 21st of January, a YouTube channel. So I found this on the PlayStation Bra YouTube channel. I'm sure there's a lot of other people that posted it. This might not have been the first one that did, but this is the first one that I found. They post a longer video titled Godfall Full Gameplay Trailer, Not PlayStation 5 Footage. And this was of the same trailer that we saw the 7 seconds of previously. That same day on Twitter, the official Godfall Twitter account, @PlayGodfall, puts out a statement. Hey everyone, we can confirm that the circulating trailer is year-old PC footage used as part of an internal presentation. We are energized by your excitement and look forward to showing you just how far this game has come. Stay tuned for a more detailed look soon. What, more detailed look soon? Is this like soon? Is this like Blizzard soon TM? So now what I want to do is go over this leak. Knowing that a lot of this is subject to change and some things may or may not be in the final version of the game, I'm guessing a ton has changed since then. I mean, it's just how video games are made. A lot of things change, they play them, they find out what's fun, they find out what's working, they find out what's not working, and then they change it up for what they think is going to be the best experience for us. So I'm guessing a lot of this stuff has possibly changed, but I still think it's important to talk about. So this trailer almost seems like a mood trailer to me. So we start out seeing the Phoenix Valorplate standing in front of this what looks to be like a giant castle. At first I thought, hey, this thing is like floating in the air because there's a lot of clouds, there's a lot of mist surrounding it. But I don't know if the castle itself is floating or if, I mean, we definitely have some floating rocks here. So first thing that pops into your mind is, okay, there's some weird gravitational magic, mysterious thing going on here that, you know, some of these rocks are floating and gravity's doing some weird stuff. And we also have, you know, the most of the Phoenix armor plate's giant spear. I mean, this is a massive weapon. I always wonder, it's like, if you're gonna show us like all this end game loot, because to me this, again, it looks like end game stuff. We can't start out with something that looks that cool. So they're teasing us with, hey, this is what you probably can get if you put in enough time. I mean, we don't know how the game's gonna work yet, but it's a cool looking spear. This is a massive spear. This is like Sanderson's large weapon anime style spear. Then we get to pop in on Greyhawk inside a chamber. We've got gilded floors. We've got braziers around here on fire, surrounding what looks to be a giant spinning cube back there. I don't know if they're like just fans of dice and, you know, playing Dungeons and Dragons, but we got a, you know, D6 over there spinning around. Potentially part of a, I don't know what it's going to be. And oh look, we've got pots here, and instead of being blue pots, we've got orange pots. Breakable? I mean, Link would have a heyday over here if he was running around this place breaking pots. And check out the way that the light spills into this room. I mean, hopefully we'll get some RTX stuff turned on over here. I mean, RTX, it just works, right?
Global illumination just works. Ambient occlusion just works. Just work.
That'd be awesome to have the reflections and the different lighting. Oh, then we get Old Blood Silvermane over here. Shows up running through hallways like a kid headed to the lunchroom. Now this is really quick. And the sword he's using, I'm guessing it's either clipping through his cloak, or it's just they haven't fixed the animation yet. But it's hidden behind his cloak, and at the hilt of the sword, it looks to be a purple gem that's glowing. Now, I always go like, okay, so the different colors, they, correlate to different elements, so different attack types, whether it's going to be fire, lightning, ice, purple, green, poison, But we also get this giant glowing orange sphere, and then the archway is glowing also. It's got this teal glow. So I'm wondering if like these are going to be the locks, and you have to power the thing to open the door in order to proceed. And then we cut back to the Phoenix Valorplate. We get to see a better look at the spear that she's wielding, and also just kind of a peaceful little scene as we pan around. We get to see the leaves falling, nice reflections in the water, just kind of calm. This game's going to be super chill and relaxing. Alright, it's time for some combat here, and here we've got the Silvermane facing off against I'm going to call these soldiers, I don't know what else to call them, but these enemies, they've got super long spears. It looks like they've got big giant pommels on the back of them, probably for balance. But these things are tall. These things, I mean, I don't know exactly how tall Valorplate is. Let's just go with like standard 6 foot. But these things are probably still 3 feet taller than them. I don't know if these are humans, if these are just constructs, if these are, magic beings inside these suits, or if they're avatars, some sort of energies projected into them that makes them move around. But these things are tall. And using our purple gem sword, we perform what looks to be like some sort of dash, quick stab attack. We impale one of the soldiers, and as the soldier bursts into blue flames, it leaves us a blue floating orb. And I don't know if this is health orb, energy orb for the abilities that we are going to have, but we also have another green glyph over there on the door. I don't know if that's the door or the wall, something that we have to power, but we also have those orange spheres that we saw before. Now we have blue spheres over there, and it looks like there's mist, ice around it. I can't really tell over there. Also, we notice that there's an arrow indicator at our feet, and I can't tell if it's pointing towards enemies or towards objectives, allies. It looks to be pointing toward the enemies though. Now as we move over to the next scene, we see Greyhawk fighting against what looks to be smaller enemies, and if you watch this over and over again, you see that these enemies propel themselves forward with either boosters or thrusters, or flame comes out from behind them and they shoot forward. And as we sidestep out of the way, another giant sword comes slashing down as we just walk back from it. Now here, one of the arrows of our indicators has turned red, maybe pointing towards the enemy that is currently attacking or will attack next. And then next we see the Phoenix crossing blades with one of these very tall soldier enemies. And the Phoenix has this very large hooked looking sword, which looks really cool. If you can slow it down, you can kind of see how wicked of a hook that it actually has in there.
This is a good sword.
And again, as we look at the background, there looks to be a floating spinning, and this looks like a D8 to me. And then next, the Phoenix is facing what I'm just going to call the Rogue. It's a very roguish looking character. It's got a cape, it's got a mask. It also has a 6-pack. So I don't know, I'm guessing this one is, not just a construct, but I mean, it's definitely showing off a 6-pack. I mean, it's kind of dangerous when you've got giant swords and, enemies, throwing flames and stuff around that you're just, bare chested showing. I mean, maybe the 6-pack is strong enough that it's going to withstand a couple blows. I'm not sure. But hey, if I had a 6-pack, I'd probably show it off too. And also we notice there's another shiny orb, some sort of pickup. We don't know what it does yet, but there's going to be stuff to collect and pick up. Alright, as we cut to Greyhawk over here fighting against the very classic move that we've seen in many video games. It's the I'm going to charge up and spin around super fast, so get out of my way or else you'll get hit attack.
I'll try spinning, that's a good trick.
Also in the background, there's a floating enemy in front of what looks to be like some purple flame there in the background. But this floating enemy is holding a sword, it's holding a weapon, and it's floating towards us, right behind its buddy that's doing the whirlwind attack. I'm really interested in this enemy type. Just the floating, it has very like almost a Ring Wraith Nazgul like vibe to me. And I would love to see like some more high resolution like images of these enemies, because I really want to see like what they're all about. Are they human? Like, do they got skulls in there? Is it just armor that's floating around? Did we animate an object and we've got these things floating around to attack us? Now, very quickly, we see this new enemy type, and this is definitely not a construct. This is flesh, bone, spikes, fire from its chest. We got very large spikes coming out of it. That's probably why it's so angry, because of these giant spikes. And we're going toe to toe with it. It has a breath weapon that we're gonna probably have to dodge. It makes me wonder if we're gonna have shields in this game to be able to dodge stuff like this. Now, as we move forward, I think we're gonna start seeing a couple abilities that our Valorplates may have. Now, it's hard to tell here, but I think Silvermane actually blocks an attack and retreats and steps back. I don't know if it's like a quick dodge, because Silvermane ends up on his back and he has to spend time to get up. So I don't know if it's a, hey, you get this dodge, but also there's a downside to where you're going to be vulnerable for a little bit. So it's probably not something you want to do when there's a large group of enemies around. We get to see another look at a different enemy type. These look to be like wolves or, you know, hounds of some sort that come attacking. And it's interesting that every attack is telegraphed with like a little swipe through it, so you can see the range of where they're swiping. Maybe that's why you don't get the feeling that, hey, that shouldn't have hit me. I wasn't that close to it. But with the visual indicator, you won't really feel bad if you're getting hit and you're not knowing why you're getting hit. So in this next section of footage where we see the Phoenix facing off against that rogue enemy that we talked about before, I mean, and looking at the rogue, it looks like it has a dagger in one hand, sword in the other hand. Also, it has a glowing red, you know, indicator on its chest. I don't know if this is from armor or if this is just a gameplay mechanic saying, hey, this enemy is getting ready to attack. But this rogue is pretty cool. I mean, it's flipping its knife around, trying to distract us. Also, our Phoenix is shown swapping out weapons here. So we go from having that large spear to wielding that sword that we've seen before. And then here we do get to see some of these other enemy types a little bit closer. Seeing Greyhawk fight against this larger, wider, more beefier, tankier looking enemy. This creature has a massive axe, and that's not something that we've seen like depicted a lot in the other, like in the first trailer we didn't see an axe, but here this person has an axe. This one is glowing with a purplish glow, whether that's like poison damage, force damage, I don't know. Whether it's just, hey, this thing is getting ready to hit you, you better dodge out of the way, you see it glowing. Us as gamers, we love to see things glow, right? And then we do get kind of a closer look of this creature floating in the background with the smoke coming off of its head. Still hard to see if there's anything inside of there or if it's just a ghost, an apparition. So this next shot is actually really interesting because we get to see another, you know, very big, large enemy type with a very big hammer. I don't know if it's an axe or a hammer. It's really hard to tell with the lighting. But there's also 2 players in this shot. I'm guessing it's 2 players because we have the Phoenix Valorplate, which is our point of view. And then there's another suit of armor, another Valorplate, another player out there that's also attacking this creature. And really quickly, you can see as it pans behind us, as it moves on to attack another creature, that you can see that this right shoulder has very large horns on it, and it looks like horns coming off of the helmet. I don't know if it's supposed to be like some sort of bull or some sort of like dragon that has horns coming off of it. But this is the first look at another suit of Valorplate that we have not seen before, that was not featured in the reveal trailer. We haven't seen wallpaper of it like we've seen currently of the other 3 Valor suits that we have. So this is another suit that's entirely new that, you know, if you're not paying attention, it'll go by very quickly and it'll just pass it up. So we're actually getting to see a lot of different enemy types. Again, the Phoenix Valorplate is fighting 2 different types of enemies, and 2 of these enemies are a little bit on the smaller side, but they actually have shields with them. So I don't know if this is only going to be a feature for enemies, that there will be shielded enemies, or if our characters will also be able to have shields. So really quick in this shot, we get to see Silvermane going up against another one of the soldiers. Quick thrust, puts him down, puts him out of commission. But if you notice in the background, there is a lot of statues that are just hanging out there. I don't know what this is for, if this is just going to be something that you see in the background, or if it has something to do with the world or the place that we're in. So for the final shot, we get kind of a cool teleporting triple tack ability that the Silvermane has. We can see that we're fighting another one of those demon-looking creatures that has the spikes coming out of it that can breathe fire. And we kind of warp around multiple times to the right, you know, to the left, and then we're able to take this creature down. But if you'll also notice in the background, that other Valorplate that we saw before fighting with the Phoenix Valorplate, is here in this shot also, just hanging out way out there in the background, but you can definitely tell, same silhouette. So that's the old footage, and no doubt a lot of these things will have changed. They'll be updated, things will be removed, things will be added in, so a lot of this will be different. But I'm really interested in what I've seen so far. One of the takeaways that I have that I don't really like is I do not like the camera shake that happens. Anytime there's an attack, it's really distracting and it just kind of messes with my eyes. Maybe I'm just old, but I don't like the camera shake at all. Hopefully that's something that we can just turn off in the menus. And for the people that do like it, they can leave it on. And the people that don't like it, they can just turn it off. So I'm really excited to see what other weapon types they have. We've seen hammers, we've seen the swords, we've seen the spears. I know there's a lot of other things that we've seen in some gifts on the website that'll look interesting to wield. I hope the weapons have personality and it's not just, hey, you got another stat stick with a couple extra percentage points on it and use that. I really want there to be personality, things to chase. I want to have the desire to go get a particular weapon for whatever reason, whether it's because it looks super cool or because it has special abilities that, you know, make me interested in creating a build around it. So what has you most excited about Godfall right now? Is it just the way the Valorplate looks? Is it the setting? Is it the color palette? Is it the giant swords? What is it that has you excited for? Is it because it's just another live service game? Is it because it's the first slasher looter that we've had that we're going to get to try out? So tell me in the comments. And again, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for coming and checking out the videos. Please like, subscribe, hit that bell. Next time, hopefully, I think Sony is going to be announcing some stuff pretty soon for PlayStation 5. Those are the rumors that are being spread around right now. I would imagine that their first announced title, they might show something more. I'm not 100% sure. But until the next video, be kind to each other, stay safe.